From the two moons of Thailand and Vietnam to your home and mine comes this delicious two-moon noodle.
So, what's cooking there, Edith?
Oh, it's two-moon noodle. It's Asian week, and that's what's cooking.
Welcome back to my kitchen. Of course, I'm Ron Hayden. We just shopped at Belmont Market to get everything we need for two-moon noodle. Of course, in the Asian countries, the moons equal the countries. Okay, so the two moons of the 7 Asian moons in this case are Vietnam and Thailand. So this is a Vietnamese kind of a bee-bong dish combined with a pad thai. Two very popular dishes that I kind of put together with all my favorites into one. So let's start with our ingredients. Make sure everybody's got them. The noodle for the two-moon noodle. And of course, the broccoli, the bean curd. It's topped with the peanut and coconut milk. And the basic sauce is peanut butter, soy sauce, sweet and spicy chili sauce with a little bit of the fish sauce and a little acid with the seasoned rice wine vinegar. If you want to make it vegan, just leave out the fish sauce. Let's start by prepping up a couple of heads of broccoli into broccoli buds. So you're going to take it off pretty darn close. Okay, and we'll just put the scrap aside and the second head. Trim it back on the stem. It's just right. There we go. So the broccoli's all set for the wok. And if you have broccoli, you need some garlic. So let's get a nice clove of the elephant garlic. Snip off the ends. All right. Brush that aside, go down the middle. And if there's any stem to pop out, pop it out. Oh, so you didn't know about taking the little stem out of the clove of garlic. Yeah. That is the part that gives you the agita, the sweat, and the garlic breath. It's just that little stem inside. We learned that from Julia a long time ago. And we'll just give it a julienne and then chunk it up. And that's just about right. I like some nice coarse chunk pieces in there. So the broccoli and garlic is ready for the wok. And so I've drained my firm tofu, got it right here on my cutting board, and it's still a little bit wet. So we want to pat it down into some paper towel and just get some of that excess water off of there before we dice it up. So let's get some nice blocks of tofu that will fry up easily and both be easy to eat. So it's just this simple. All right. All right, into my bowl. Lay it over. Once more, some nice cubes. That'll look great. Very good. Cubed up, diced up, and ready for the wok. All right, the pans are hot. This one will fry the bean curd, and we'll get the broccoli going in the wok. And in goes the bean curd. It's nice and dry. Make sure you dry it off. I'm going to splatter a little bit. That's okay. All right, got that sizzling. Medium to medium high heat, okay? The wok is hot, garlic and broccoli into the wok. There we go, let's get all that garlic. Can't have too much of that. It smells good already. As soon as that broccoli and garlic hits the wok, you know, and of course you can use your spoon to stir, or you can just pop it a little bit. I'm going to get a little caramelization on the tops of those broccoli heads, and you can see that's really coming along nicely. We want this to get browning over here a little bit. We're going to leave that alone, okay? So let's work with this broccoli for just a minute, and then, oh boy, that's going to be good. A piece of garlic just shot over there into that pan. Those are the little tasters that, you know, you have to grab and sample later on. What we want to do right now, while this is cooking, we've got a pot of hot water here that I brought to a boil, okay? It's nice and hot, but you don't need to boil these rice noodles. Now you just need to soak them in the hot water. So let's get these going. See, it's rice stick, okay? So we're going to put 2 packages in. Oh, isn't that great? We're going to put 2 packages in so that we have more than enough to work with. There we go. Just get them down underneath the water and let them soak. Tofu's frying, broccoli is caramelizing and cooking up a bit, and we have our rice noodles soaking in the hot water. Let's step back to the prep island and work on the sauce. And here we are. We've got this really nice Maple Grove Farms natural creamy peanut butter, and great, we got a little oil on top. I love that. So as you can see, I put a good quarter of a cup in there, a nice dollop, okay, of peanut butter. It's gonna, you know, we want to have enough sauce for 2 boxes of noodles, because this is going to be so good. You're going to want to make sure you have extra. Peanut butter's in the bowl. Next would be a good bit of soy sauce. This is the low salt, and we can add more later. And I've got a nice 1/3 of a cup in there right now. I'm going to go with 1 of the bottles of the chili Thai. Let's get all that in there. This is the sweet and the spicy. And this is great. It's good. I'm working my pecs and my biceps all in one motion. This is great. All right, we got most of that in there. That is looking good. So far, how's it look? It's almost looking tasty just looking at it. All right, and of course we already have our soy, peanut butter, and chili sauce in the bowl. So we're going to add just a touch, maybe about a tablespoon of the fish sauce, and for a little acidity, maybe 3 times as much of the seasoned rice wine vinegar. Now let's whisk it up. All right, so we're whisking it up, and here it is. All the ingredients mixed, and it looks real good. It looks real good. Smells real good. Back at the cooktop, you can see we've got plenty of crisp on the bean curd. All right, and yes, look at the crispy brownness as we flip this around. All right, we're looking really good. So let's take it out and drain it right onto our nice Belmont paper bag. Why not? That's what I use it for when I fry. All right, most of the time we're going to take our cloth bags in, but we can get this out onto one of these nice paper bags. All right, and let it drain off a little bit. A little bit of oil on there is no problem. That is fine. Okay, beautiful. And the broccoli looks great. The garlic is all caramelized. The heads have a little brown on them. Smells great and looks great. Broccoli and bean curd are ready. The noodles are nice and soft, so we're going to drain those off, get back to the prep island, and put it all together. Okay, so while I was getting out the bean curd and looking at the broccoli and the noodles, this got a little bit thick, all right? This is set up, it's a little bit thick, so what are we gonna do? I told you I might add a little bit more soy sauce, and that's okay. This is low sodium, okay? We want that good soy base. I'm gonna whisk that in, all right? It's thinned out a little bit, but here's where you go with a little bit of cold water, all right? So let's just get a little bit of cold water going. And that's going to thin that out, because remember, rice noodles naturally have that glutinous, all right? And I used about a quarter of a cup of water. That glutinous kind of starchiness, and once the sauce hits the noodles, it'll stiffen up just a little bit too. So you can see that we've thinned this out nicely. We still have good peanut color, a good golden color, and there's a lot of flavor in here. So I'm gonna get my noodles, I'm gonna get my broccoli and my bean curd here. We're gonna set this up and mix it and get ready to plate it. The 2 Moon Thai Viet noodle. Smells good. The rice noodles have finished soaking and I've drained them off. All right, we give them a little taste. All right. Al dente, perfect. Okay, we didn't boil them, we soaked them. I think I'm gonna give them just a little touch of a rinse. We don't want too much of that starch in there, but they're still a little bit wet, and now we're ready to mix them with our ingredients. So, into the bowl with the noodle. Okay, we don't need to mix it all at once. I'm gonna mix about half of this and see where we end up, okay? Put that aside, and oh boy, that looks great. Let's get the sauce going. We're gonna put about half of our sauce in. All right, I'm gonna get half of it in there, and we'll give that a stir. Just get those noodles coated. There we go. You can see them change color. They're nicely coated. Oh, beautiful. Looking good. Now, since the noodles are coated, let's add most of the broccoli. Let's save a little bit for garnish. All right, most of the broccoli and most of the bean curd. There we go. A little bit more sauce. Make sure it gets into those broccoli crowns. All right. Sure. So we're just layering it up a little bit, having some fun doing it. And let's toss it. You know, this is one of those one-dish meals. We like to kind of have fun and call it a Wundish meal. Sounds German, but again, this is Viet Thai. So let's not get confused, all right? Now we're really getting the sauce coated with the broccoli and the bean curd. Man, look at the color. I can tell you it smells great. It's going to be delicious. And you're just going to love making this at home. So far, so good. Pretty darn easy. And I think you'll love it. All right, here we go. So now we're ready to plate it up. Let's do it. Get our tongs and let's just nest this up in the middle of the plate. And we'll start to get some of the broccoli and the bean curd. Okay. And let's surround it with broccoli and bean curd. Get enough of each on there to balance it out nicely. All right. Looking good. Okay. So what we have here now is almost like a pad thai. Okay. It's basically like a pad thai peanut sauce, a little bit spicy. Okay. And really what the Vietnamese do in their bih dishes, which is also the same noodle, is finish it with a little coconut milk. They usually give you a nice dollop like that. I like a little bit more, okay? And that coconut milk's gonna seep down in there. That's a little bit sweet, and everything else is a little bit spicy and peanutty, all right? And then I'm just gonna, I like my peanuts, and these are halves, so let's just, right there, I want plenty of crunch. I want a little bit more than that, okay? A little bit more than that. Let's make it look pretty with a little bit of a crisscross of scallion, and then even, okay, some nice red for presentation, the chopsticks in there, and what I'm going to do is add a little bit more color red to that, and this is everyone's favorite, the sriracha spicy hot sauce. It's just got a nice bit of garlic in it, goes perfect with this, and look how pretty this is going to be when I dot it all around the edge, because this is an option. You can leave it there, or you can dip into it for that extra touch of spiciness. Doesn't that look great? Well, it's going to taste just as good. And here it is. Thai Viet 2 Moon Noodle. Vietnamese, it's Thai, it's sweet, it's spicy. It is absolutely delicious. You're going to love making it at home. 2 Moon Noodle. Now that's what's cooking. We have our 2 Moon Noodle dish, and thanks to Pier Liquors, we have something to drink with that that pairs nicely. Not so fruity, but a little bit more on the dry side. This is a nice sake. Of course, sake is rice wine, and this is a rice noodle dish, so beautiful. Something dry, not too fruity, to go with the spicy and the salty. All right, so let's give it a try. Screw top, and that little ding means it's time to try. Oh boy, that is nice. I don't know about you, but I love sake, and when you taste this rice noodle dish and the peanut and everything that's in it, and then you take a sip of the rice wine, it just goes together. So, from Pier Liquors to your table and mine, that's what's cooking. Cheers.